Okay, alrighty, as one might say. It's time to do the Asia reviews, and I definitely didn't accidentally start streaming for 30 seconds before I started recording. 100% not. I swear. Anyway, if I start slurring words, if I start doing anything, not my fault, completely out of my control. But in reality, here's the thing. You might consider I might have done Ottomans in the Europe review. You might... Yeah, nah. Ottomans in the Europe review, or Ottomans in the Asia review, but I'm going to do Ottomans by itself. Why? Because originally it was Jamie, and I wanted to analyze what I consider the best player in the Discord being. Now that he's fucking yeeted out of the fucking thing, I'm going to do him by himself. Well, I'm still going to do him by himself, but he's not in the fucking MP, so he can't be the best player in the MP if he's not in the MP. Anyway, let's look at Georgia. I don't imagine there'll be much to say, just because it's so small. It looks like he's maxing out the things. He's doing monopolies. I like that. I personally like monopolies. I know a few people who don't, but oh well. He's probably someone like myself that likes going to 40% before doing that, or like 37 before doing the mana buttons. I don't typically know. That's personal preference for me, but as I was shown with the other reviews, I'm fine with going under. It just doesn't feel exactly right. But the main thing I will say, because that mod that I still forgot to check the name of, is do this button, because morale damage is the most important damage of the game at this early stage. Why is morale damage the most important game? I guess that's what I'll be talking about for Georgia. Why is morale damage the most important part? Because if you look at the numbers for shock damage here, it's 0.5, right? 0.5, whatever. The morale damage that you deal is based on I need to go read up. I'm gonna make a combat tutorial somewhere, but the morale damage is based on a flat number, or like a percentage of the damage dealt, while shock damage, right, or fire damage, is based on like a number plus the roll, then plus the pip kind of thing, or the roll plus pip. However, morale damage is just based on roll plus pip. What the fuck am I saying? Um, okay, it's modified by roll, like, the end shock damage, right, after whatever, is then modified by plus pip. However, the shock damage is, I'm 90% sure, lower than what the morale damage would be. Let's say shock damage is equal to 0.5, as it is right here. It's 0.5 shock damage. But morale damage is, let's say for this instance, morale damage is 1. So then it's 1 times, 1 divided by 0.1, which is I think that's correct math. 1 times not times, divided by, no, 1 divided by 0.1 is 10. Yeah, so that's kind of right. It's not exactly what I wanted to say, but let's say 1 divided by 0.1 is... What was I saying the 0.1 for? I don't know. Pip is... I'm using the example that... Right. A pip is 10% extra damage. I don't know the exact number, I'm just using that as an example. But morale damage at this moment is a higher inflicted number, is a more highly inflicted number than actual damages. So at this point in time, fire and fucking shock damage is a lesser stat than morale damage, which is why I say morale is more important early game than discipline, because discipline reduces damage taken, it doesn't reduce morale damage taken. Because in later game, the actual damage taken is more significant than early game, where the morale is more important. Morale is still important later game because morale damage is still taken. Fights can be still won via morale damage, but that's only if the discipline and shit anyway. Anyway, that's the reason I'd say switch to the morale, because morale offense, morale defense, you're taking less damage overall. You won't be taking less morale damage, but it's, in my opinion, that's fine. I imagine you don't have an eco. Yeah, it's typical like 5 province, 10 province minor eco, especially in the fucking like Middle Eastern area. Armenia's alive? That's not a tag at the start, is it? It was like separatist out. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. There's much to say. I'd say it's time for you to pick between Ottomans, Mamluks. I see a lot of Ottomans fine with a Georgia because a Georgia there, right, signifies like a fucking. Let's look at the defensive ideas of a Georgia. 25 fort defense, 10% infantry combat. Mainly it's just that 25 fort defense, especially if you take defensive ideas. Your forts on these mountains here and along here will just be very good. So, like, the way you can work with a Ottomans is by going, hey, I will be your Circassian, your Crimean, like, fucking, what's this note called? Astrakani goddamn blocker between Russia and you. Because Russia scales much harder than Ottomans, but Ottomans earlier is much stronger. It's around like tech 16 to 18 where Ottomans really starts to fall off. Muscovy really starts to pick up around like, I'm guesstimating right now, around 14 to upwards. So yeah, as Georgia, I'd say the best bet would probably be to work with Ottomans or just somehow go balls deep with Mamluks, I don't know. I'd say, yeah, Ottomans or Muscovy. One of the two. You work with one of the two. Personally, as you, just because I've seen it work in other MPs, I would work with Ottomans, try and expand north, try and expand east or west, up to you. What? Did I just say this is east? East or west, up to you. But yeah, basically your main game is picking a side and working with that side. Tag Mamluks. I'll do Songhai next. Mamluks, I haven't watched the vid yet because I said I will make these reviews without watching vids. I will make them from my first experience at looking at a nation. Only got one Shia province left, obviously not converting to Shia by the looks of it, even though Shia gives 5% morale. That's up to Mamluk's opinion. Ottomans currently have Defender of the Faith, and I've seen a few people say that Mamluks had it, so I feel like, I don't know. 0.5 plus. Oh, you're bankrupt as well. That's not too spicy, is it? That's why the French said they're here dealing with your rebels, which they can't currently see. If we take France, I'll just show you that real quick. They can't currently see these two provinces, and they can't march in there because they're not enemy provinces. They're rebel provinces. Tag Mams. Anyway, with Mams, looks like something's fucked up in the Dimmy thing. I personally don't see a problem with having, let's just chuck these on real quick, with having higher Dimmy, more modifier, and then this, because that'll bump up the, this 20% will negate this 5% and then add on, like, so 15 overall. So that's 15%, 20% manpower from every heathen province, which, if you can go down into the Coptic land, that'll be a bunch of provinces with that extra modifier, and 15% tax from each heathen province. And then, you know, you can't convert them, but you should then, never mind. Oh, never mind. Holy shit. Is there a button here that does that? Tolerance of heathens. So this will give you plus 10 once everything runs out, so this will be 40 something, yeah. And once this goes up, it should be like plus 1, then it'll be around, sorry, it'll be around plus 3, plus 4, so your the heathen provinces will be a little worse, but also a little better. And I think, in terms of, let's look at this real quick. Local unrest, local goods produced, local that. I don't know. Val will probably figure it out before I do, because I'm not gonna tag into Nubia, but I'm just saying that the Dimmy fucking values are really nice, and if you're gonna be taking land, oh, if you're going to be taking land, like keep seizing land, the Demi will be affected, so you need to give them at least... No, that doesn't make sense, because then you can't convert it, and therefore it gives you more unrest. You need to figure out a way to, like, have the Demi not be dickheads, because they do affect tax, heathen, unrest, anyway. It looks like... Why is your... Guaranteed religious and monetary rights... Prestige... Oh, he gives Ulmer opinion, right? Not actual, so this is still 15%. This, let us figure this shit out. Your influence only matters for like getting rid of shit and giving bonuses. So as long as your influence is going to be higher, like your loyalty is going to be higher than the influence, you can always just revoke this shit later. I would say once you do the next tick of your religious of this religious like enforcing faithful adherence, you do the what's it called? The monthly piety, just because it keeps bumping it up there. Sure, this one gives more morale, like 10% more morale, but it's really hard in my opinion to get this up high once you've finished conquering all your Muslim neighbors. So this one gives you the 20% tax, the 20% manpower, the 10% tech cost. I like this one a lot more. It also gives you free debased currency, because then you can just immediately get rid of the corruption. So yeah, I'd say monthly piety after you do your tick of enforcing faithful adherence. Your economy is kind of shot in the leg at the moment. That's because you're maxing out, rooting out corruption. I wouldn't typically do that, like maxed out at the moment, because you're not spending points. You're not spending mana points. So there's no point to have 0 corruption. The corruption is giving you negative unrest, like less unrest. So in my opinion, pay it out over time, so that way when you do have the points to spend on techs, you have no corruption. Otherwise, there's no real point. I don't agree with innovative ideas, especially with an aggressive, like really aggressive Ottomans. We'll see how, 1 second, let me just remember his name. Especially with SOS Trooper, like coming in, you SOS Trooper, you, don't know how he's going to play. The Castilians are probably going to expand to about Fez or something. I would, as Castile, expand to about Fez. You're going to have a lot of this shit to go. That's going to require either admin ideas to expand it all to this shit for like maximum efficiency with just the 2 ideas taken. You take admin, take up to like the core creation cost, and then just fucking core all this shit at reduced costs, then delete this and change it to something else. Or depending if SOS Trooper is still gonna SOS Trooper is still gonna be it, because I see a lot of Ottomans go for Arabia and push to India. I would say like quality, quantity, defensive, offensive, just a military idea. It doesn't matter which one of these 4 you get, they're still gonna be good. Especially with Anatolian tech group, you need something up on it if you want to try and fight it without a coalition, like last time you lost your coalition against them. Anyway, tag Songhai. Songhai has Timbuktu, not the nation Timbuktu, but the actual province. Shame you didn't get the achievement. I would change. I would change to the, apparently, I would say African Spearman is better, but apparently this mod, which is made by better players than me, would say African Clubman is better. Why? I don't know. I always rate defensive stats over offensive stats, but, yeah. If you have less manpower, I don't know. I don't know what I would say to that. You're doing good expansion here. Only thing I'm going to probably comment on is this, because they're probably not Omega done. With you, I would say I would just say take the expansionist zeal tree, just because It's really nice. It gives you plus 5% morale. You're going to be going to a lot of going into a lot of war with heretics, with heathens, sorry, with all the fetishists. You declare war on, and when you do declare war on, where is it? When you do declare war on, you know, your same faith, as long as it isn't 15 years, you won't lose 5%. If you do lose 5%, then this thing just cancels out. In the end, you're going to get 10% when you're fighting against heathens. So it's just a really good one to take. Doesn't give you any real negatives. You just get rid of it later. It's perfectly fine. Add Olma policy. Let's look at your eco. 3 ducats eco. I would say... Oh, you haven't gotten tech yet, have you? Getting point 17? Old world non-tribal capital. Yeah, right. I would say Spain, I assume. If I was Spain, I would go and try to kill you. I wouldn't want a strong Songhai, but this Spain might be different, and may want to like have a strong Africa as an ally to help push west into Zimbabwe, Congo, Zimbabwe? I'm kind of forgetting where Zimbabwe is. But yeah, Congo, Ethiopia, or just... I wouldn't though. Anyway, your biggest thing, I know you played in Africa before, and that random Dutch dude that like fucking killed you, or he's pretty good, yeah? No, I'd say you'd have to work on like Diplo arrangements for this shit, for Africa. You obviously know that, but you also don't want to get bored and just have nothing to fucking do, so yeah. I'd say the earlier you take this one, the better. Sure, you lose 15 tradition, maybe not do it in the middle of a war, but the earlier you can take that yearly tradition decay is better, just because then longer time of having more tradition increased. I'm not sure about this one because I haven't had much experience with it, but it seems alright. Especially with the Poland, like Poland and other people who like their nobility are excluded from the seizing land shit. Those get like plus like 50% fucking morale, manpower. 58, 58, 52, you don't need this one because it just gives more, but if you have more loyalty than that, then actually I would do this one. Just because it gives more influence, more loyalty, so therefore more buffs from the estates. I wouldn't do this one because it's not needed, as you're now over 60. And this, I don't know, it'll go to something. The Dhimmi, it really depends on whether you want to convert this shit, whether your tolerance of heathens will become alright. Especially if you take +2 from that. Oh, you can't do that. Oh. Oh. Okay. I guess the only thing you could do with this is take the governing capacity or the promote nobles. Which Ulma and Emirs... I'd be fine with doing it for the Ulma, but the Emirs you want above 60 to get that 20% manpower recovery. So, I wouldn't do it there. You have the eco to spare on a military advisor, so I would, especially to some morale, because that'll just make fighting these early wars so much easier. It'll also give you the manpower mana needed, plus 11. It's really nice. Yeah, okay. Tag, kill, tag, wah. Debug underscore mode tag Congo. Tag Zen. So this is Zimbabwe. Okay. For some reason, why am I confused? I don't know. Debug mode off. Alrighty. So, this is where the new player is. Let me just check. Multiplayer information. Chose Kilwa. Alright. A few people said, why don't you go Pirate Republic? I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? This is Zanzibar, so this is Zimbabwe, right? Yeah, I'm not insane. You're conquering this province. It's just too much. You're probably going to take Ajurin as well. So, Yeah, no, you have way too many provinces. It's just way too much of a hassle. Just keep going with the AI's plan. They have corruption, which is annoying. I'd ask the mods to remove that corruption, just because AI is dumb and should feel dumb. Um, the estates look like they're alright. Except for all this fetishist land, you have to figure out whether you can actually have that fetishist land as +3 tolerance of heathens. If you can't have it as +3 tolerance of heathens, then I would try to get rid of this demi-autonomy, which you can do right now with no negatives. Because the main benefit of demi-autonomy, right, this fucking estates modifier, is that when your tolerance of heathens is 3, you get no negatives from, or tolerance of heretics even, you get no negatives from heathen provinces. And the Demi like to give you tolerance of heathens, and the Demi like to give you extra buffs from heathen provinces. So if you can get that +3, do it. If you have to go out of your way to take fucking, like, humanist ideas to get tolerance of heathens in this last one, don't do it, because humanist is shit. And yeah, not much else to it. Let me just shift tab real quick, open up Madagascar EU4. Let's see, is there a formable? Oh, Mordred's videos come up immediately. So I don't think there is a Madagascar nation, is there? I don't know if there is a formable Madagascar nation. If there is, I'd say look into its ideas and try and deform it. Otherwise, you're stuck with Kilrad's ideas, which are trade efficiency, naval maneuver, mess. Yeah, they're pretty shit. They're pretty goddamn awful. Mutapa, I know, has some decent ones overall. And their vassal down the south had some pretty good ones. Yeah. If you can try and find a formal that you can form, it's probably better than anything that Kilwa has, because Kilwa can just go die in a hole. Yeah. Basically, your play, though, the only real advice I can give you apart from those estates is conquer this Mutapan, like this East African land as fast as you can, get the benefits as fast as you can, conquer Madagascar before pirates from all around the world come for it, before colonizers come for it. And then pick either the Ottomans or the Mamluks to work with. If you pick the Mamluks, you're going to have to, like, draw a line in the sand here earlier. If you pick the Ottomans, you can expand up the coast earlier. But, you know, it really depends on, like, personal preference. With idea groups, defensive, I would go eco first. I dislike going military ideas first, economic ideas first, but I feel like it's the right play. Eco, then quality, then eco, then quantity, maybe? Eco or quality and quantity, then religious, then which of these two you didn't pick. Because that'll give you the gold, the inflation reduction, that'll give you dev cost, that'll give you whatever. Then the expansion, not religious. Eco, quality or quantity, expansion, then whichever those two you didn't pick. Expansion will allow you to colonize this East African land, as well as get across to the Africas if the event doesn't pop up that, like, goes, haha, you have this province now, that's colonizing. So yeah, I'd say, again, eco, quality or quantity, expansion, and then quality or quantity, whichever one you didn't pick. Tag Timmy, brother, Timmy. Timmy, I think, joined the war with Mamluks against Ottomans rather late, but still it shows their stance against the Ottomans. Whether that stance will stay now that Jamie's gone and, like, that prestige is gone will remain to be seen. However, because no one knows who the fuck this new auto player is, but I don't know. I don't know. I would pick, again, either Ottomans or Mamluks, and then I'd focus as Timmy's expansion into India, unless you've somehow got to deal, for some reason, got to deal with, like, Gujarat, Delhi, etc. not Delhi, Gujarat, Baha, etc. You got a lot of Shia shit to convert. I would recommend, if you want to max it out, I would recommend converting to Shia, but just because Shia gives the better bonuses, the 5% morale. And you can also be Defender of the Faith without, like, literally anyone contesting you, because I don't think there's any other Shia nations in the entire fucking world that are players. Also, you have to pick between, I think, reforming Persia and Mughals. I don't know if Persia is an option for you. By the looks of it, it's not. But I would go for Mughals just because it's Mughals. I mean, why wouldn't you? Yeah, just go for Mughal Empire. I mean, you could go for Beijing, for Yuan if you want, but I don't think it's gonna work. Restore the Mughal Empire? You know, that's a bit of a thing. But no, I don't think. I think you should just go Mughals over Persia. They have pretty good ideas. They have a age bonus in one of the ages. It's overall a decent nation. Administrative ideas, I don't know if I'd pick unless you are going really hard expansion, like really hard. Unless you're taking dozens upon dozens of provinces, I don't recommend going into the two things here. If you plan to go the whole thing, that's up to you. I wouldn't. I would typically never go the entire thing. I would only typically go to creation costs. I know Switzerland, after it's been clarified, should probably go for the whole thing, just because mercenary manpower, that whole Switzerland, Canadieri, mercenary meme, they also have bonuses for it, but still, I would only go merc cost, creation cost, and then switch it out for something later. Like, for example, again, quantity, eco, quality, religious, etc. Yeah. I would also... Oh my god, that's so many separatists. Where's a Shiite province? Okay. That doesn't change. That won't change either. That won't change either. That won't change either. That won't change either. Come on. That won't change either. That won't change either. That won't change either. I would try and, like, get Shiite. Don't... It's really hard because, like, it's gonna be a while, but it seems really hard, but I think the smart idea is waiting until you can convert to Shia. Because right now a bunch of your land is Shia, a bunch more land will be Shia, and you convert this shit, etc. Bunch of aggressive expansion when you start moving into India, because there's Muslims, and there's Sunni and Hindu that will hate you because you're Shia and not Sunni, so the Sunnis will hate you more than if you were Muslim. But still, I think converting to Shia is the right move. You also got a bit of a raw exhaustion, that's probably why people hate you. Tag... You have a lot of negative without the war exhaustion, my god. Maybe you can't even convert to Shia with, like, that much negative. Anyway, tag Gooj. Gooj was an AI, so I'm not going to really go on it hard. I know he probably has plans with Baha to split shit up. I'm going to let him test this out because I don't overly care. I would, as the admins, remove the corruption because AI is dumb and should feel dumb. 50-50. Does that take from all states? Yeah, so you got the Marathas, Jains, Amirs, Ulma. Honestly, not feeling the mood. Amirs? I haven't touched New Indian estates really at all, so I don't feel like I'm qualified to speak on that shit. Idea groups. You know what? No. I'm gonna talk about Gujarat next MP when they actually have a position to talk about. Because as they were an AI, as they were this, I didn't really get to see what they were gonna do. Also, it's cutting time. No offense to Kiwi, but still. As the Baha, I would take 100% empower the poggers, empower that. For dev cost, infantry combat ability, it is very nice. It is the best modifier you could probably get, as well as the... Out of these reforms, I go fort maintenance governing cost, governing capacity, or the accepted cultures, just because there's so many, like, fucking shit up there. I would go the 5%. What the fuck? They nerfed it. They fucking did it, the mad lads. The mad lads. Paradox actually saw something wrong and fixed it. They did! Holy shit! Okay, so if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Permanent Maratha's Council used to give plus 5% discipline flat. Now, it's based on the amount of land they own. Like those manpower modifiers for like most of Europe and shit. Jesus. Huh. Okay, India isn't as broken as I thought it would be anymore. Last, like, whatever hotfix it was. Okay, cool. I'd still take this one over... I'm pretty sure I'd still take this one over all of them. I don't know how to increase a direct person's percentage the most, but I don't know. I would still take it just because discipline bonuses are still discipline bonuses. With Baja, I would... Even though you want to form Deccan, I would still uber expand into VJ. Because it'll still make you very strong. It'll still make you able to play that Diplo game that you like playing, Faceless. But it will also allow you to be strong and defend yourself from expansionist fucking, like Europeans or Asians who want to take your land. It'll allow you to be in a position to help people more by having more to give. That kind of shit. So I would play really aggressive against the VJ. Really, like, just balls to the wall, fucking, I'm gonna take your land, bruh. You know? But, even though I know you don't like being, like, extremely warlike, is the word. It won't be player wars, it'll just be going for the, VJ. Like, going for continental power to help other people that you want to help. Your force limit seems, yeah, very small. You have a few vassals, don't you? Spicy. Yeah, that'll help with in a lot of wars against other people. Do you still have those cores that you haven't taken? Oh, you did take down to the capital, didn't you? And you still have cores to one core to take here. I wouldn't declare reconquest for cores. I'd like start making all the claims you can if you haven't got them already, which it doesn't look like you do because I don't remember Baja mission tree. Looks like you need to take that province to get more claims. Yeah, take that province, you get more. Take those 3 provinces, you get more claims. I would say the smartest thing to do would be to possibly conquer these 3 provinces, fully occupy, drain them of war exhaustion, men, whatever, make rebels just appear all over the place. So you peace out for these, and then just sit on them for years on end, and force VJ to just completely collapse, and then go in after you've got like the extra 4 estates, the 4 states claimed. Yeah, all of that shit claimed, and then in the second war you go, or second or fourth war, after that 3 province war, you go for a bunch of these. Also, with this you take these 3 plus that, because then that's 1 less fort you have to go through, that you have to siege. Okay. A bunch of that's just a bunch of shitty shit. Tag IU as a player, isn't it? Let me get up my picture. Where is my EU4 picture? My cat is just running amok out there, my god. EU4 maps. 31st the 7th? PNG, okay. This isn't updated for the current player map mode, or like, after the France and shit, so... Yeah. Yeah. This is the people. I've already done all of these, I think. Yeah, I've done all of these. Morocco's dead. Mamluks I've talked about. Songhai I've talked about. Oman I'm going to next. Ayutthaya, so I'll go to... Whoop, you don't see that. God damn it. I will go to Oman, then Ayutthaya. I was gonna do Oman after Timurids, then I just forgot. So there. Is that it? Is that everyone? If I don't get you, I could look at this list, but no. Alrighty. Okay, so tag Oman. I'm pretty sure this is the player because Homer's got fucking decked. Again, give me estates. You need to do estates. You need to get that above 50 for each, just so that you can, like, take land, give land for the modifiers, mana, cavalry, shock damage. Wait, what the fuck am I saying? I would say wait, no, shock damage, because the shock damage is actually influential. Unlike the 0.5, this is 2 times that. So maybe the modifier is different compared to my example, but still, because the shock damage is higher, I assume that is why. Again, I'm not a fucking expert, I'm just copying other people's advice, in that regard. Because I need to look at, like, base modifiers. I looked at them ages ago, but not now. Oh, admin. Mombasa is, like, down south, isn't it? Where the fuck is Mombasa? It is down south. Yeah, it is that province. I just didn't see it because I'm dumb. Alright. Alright. Let's turn this down because copyright claim. If you can't hear it anymore, I don't know, I'm just tweaking audio without listening to, like, what I've tweaked it to. Conquer Mombasa is that. Conquer Zanzibar is that. I doubt you're gonna get that shit. Okay, so with you, your game plan would probably be to work with Constantinople, with the Ottomans against Timurids. I'd say come in later, so that way Timurids, even though I'm kind of fucking poking you right now and putting you in a bad spot by saying this, work with Ottomans after you work with Oman. What? Work with Ottomans after they've solidified and able to help you against Timurids, because at the moment, you know, there's a big fucking Q-cube in between you that Timurids is currently fighting, but still. Yeah. You have debt? You have a shit ton of debt, my god. Okay, so I'd click the debase currency, even though it doesn't give you much, get rid of that. And then get rid of a few loans that'll reduce interest, that'll do that, that'll do this, that'll do that. I don't know what I have to say. Didn't expect the loans. You had a lot of war exhaustion. I assume there was a really, like, tough war that you had to do against Homers. That should have been a while ago, right? Because you have the admin power to go up to Tech 5, basically. Huh. I assume you just fought a war on an ally's side then? Maybe you're allied to Timurid? So who'd you fight with Timurids? It was Homers. It was fairly recently as well. Okay. What? Oh, no, you're still coring land. Okay, never mind. You just had a lot of admin before. Alright, yeah, no, that's fair. Okay. I was wondering why you had such a thing there. Alright, fair enough. There's not really much I can say other than pick either Timurids or Ottomans, so far you've picked Timurids. I don't think it's smart for Timurids to allow Hormuz to be here because it'll suck a lot of potential income out of Persia. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Tag, and Ottomans also like going into Arabia, so you'd have to give them a reason not to kill you, as you've probably given reason Timurids not to kill you. Alright. Ayutthaya. Oh, wow, it's been 40 minutes, Jesus Christ. Jesus H. Cross, dude, probably, how many times can I reverberate this in my throat? Ayutthaya until the end of the game. I'd probably do this, right? It doesn't have any bad consequences. It might, you might know more than me. I'm pretty sure Ayutthaya is a play nation, right? Yeah, it is. Probably do that just for the +1 commoted culture. Yes. So make +4, get the, what's the evolved heritage? No, fuck that. You don't need it. I would convert to Hindu if you possibly can. It's the smarter decision in my opinion, converting to Hindu. I forget who's playing here, because I'm just forgetful. Is this like the only Mahayana like people in the entire world? They are, right? Yeah, they are. Anyway, you got debt from fighting long wars, I assume. Yeah, one piece of debt. A bit of that, bit of this, bit of bad points, but you guys will have the, yeah, Brunei has it, so you'll have it soon, probably, yeah, as you're buying it already, which is, I assume, why you're losing so much in diplomatic expenditures. Yep, that's why you're negative. Alrighty, as it stands, I would say you could probably turn off forts here, because you're literally not fighting anyone. You've still got 10k up here. You've got this one turned off, so why not have the other two turned off? That saves you a ducat. Interest, state maintenance. Only this one that you got a fucking edict on, so the others just cost you a shit ton. Alright, so you really got to figure out how you want to treat Oirat, because Oirat's obviously going for all of China. You're going for all of, like, Indochina, and I'd say Malacca or some shit, unless Brunei has worked out a deal with you. You also got to figure out the pirates, whether they're going to raid you. You got to figure out your trade situation, whether you're going to push to Malacca, sell your trade to Malacca, etc. Yeah, you got to figure out who owns this land, you or Oirat. And if it's you, you got to get alliances ready to counter Oirat if he thinks, nah, mate, this is more land, brother. Like, you know. Bahamanis will probably work with you because I would consider you the underdog in this situation every day of the week, depending on alliances. Seeing as these two are allied, I would always actually consider you the underdog. So, yeah, you got to play the Diplo game. I think there's a northern tag that, the not last, but one of the other Ayutthaya players, like, formed. Shan, actually. Tag. Debug mode. Tag MNI. Debug mode. Yeah, confederate the Shun states. So you can form Shun, which gives you Shan, which gives you new ideas. Tag AU. Let's look at your ideas. Tax, manpower, barely any manpower. Mech maintenance, Diplomatics, Diplomatics? Jesus. Trade range, stab costs, that. Literally fucking worthless, in my opinion. A lot of these are just goddamn worthless. I would go, yeah, so I would convert Hindu and probably convert to Shan, because I think its ideas are better than Ayutthaya every day of the week. For you, because you don't have much expansion other than this Indochina shit, which may be pretty good dev? It's pretty decent dev, yeah. I would still go quality or quantity, eco, quality or quantity, as I've been saying with a lot of people, just because it is very good. So let us go to Oirat. Let us go to the Oirat. Yes, we are in Oirat. This is Indian accent for me, but I do not know. I don't know what a Mongolian accent sounds like. I can't imitate that shit. That a green from a state. That green-white kind of reminds me of Hindustan. What is this? You gonna form Hindustan? Torsion? Huh? Punk? Huh? Punk? Punk-ass bitch? Yeah. You've only got one estate to fucking steal from. You have rebels? Oh, it's, Cotton rebels. Oh. Alrighty. So, yeah, these will be gone soon if you... So the one thing I have to torch him, because I've been talking to him in between, so I won't really give them that much of a, thing. He's obviously going to form Milan, right? You need at peace, 2 stab, own cause of, like, southern Mongolia, and the Emperor of China, plus 1 or 3 provinces from Manchu. Oops. But they can sell them, trade that back and forth, be cheesy bastards. The 2 biggest things Oira has to decide, that Torchen has to decide, is 1, whether he dismantles the Empire by fully annexing whoever the Emperor is, or takes the mandate. It's completely up to him. I prefer dismantling, but it takes a longer time, therefore you reform later, therefore your economy is worse for a longer period of time. However, there's no fucking mandate for you to get cucked by. Sure, at the end you get +1 monarch skill, core creation cost, whatever. But the thing with mandate is, as you're taking land, you're devastating it. Then you annex that land, that devastated land, and it then goes, the mandate just goes, oh shit, you've got devastated land, let's give you fucking negatives! And it's like, but it's not even a core. Like, what do you mean? So yeah, that's why I dislike taking the mandate. Even though you use the mandate, let's see, do you have a spare diplomat? Even though you use... Who is the mandate right now? Ming? What the fuck am I doing? Tribal Conquest. Even though you use... I think it's because you have a truce that you can't take the mandate. Like, don't have the mandate CV, but... God. Mandate CB gives you 50% war score cost on, Let's take the Woo real quick. Woo! They have no diplomats. Tag NNG. They have no diplomats. I have to reload the save because I hit unpause even though it didn't go a day. I recently just went through and deleted all my saves, that's why it looks empty as fuck. What do you mean, tag M? I just fucking did it again! Motherfucker. Tag MNN. NNG. Alright, you have full debug mode, tag, of course it would be you. I was literally just thinking to myself as I was loading. You have full thingo, MA, CMI, Chinese Mal. Okay, so you don't have a truce with Ming and you have this. Take Mandate of Heaven, take capital Yanzhou, 50% aggressive expansion, 100% cost, and 50% cost for all provinces. This fucking mandate, like that fucking CB, is so nice. Because it reduces like all those costs. And with this, right, with this tribal conquest, you have 100% cost but 75% aggression. But like monetary reparations, enforced vassalage, all that 100% instead of like 125 or 150 like they normally are. Conquest are still 100, so it's just a whole lot of like shit. Once this happens, yeah, once this happens, you can like change. I think no. Once the Unite the Mongols happens, you can change like all of the fucking culture in Mongolia to... No, all the Kalaka provinces to Mongolian. Like, all of your shit. Or some shit like that. Basically, just change, like, all of this to Mongolian, or all of that to Mongolian. It's something happens that, like, does all of that. No, I'm not going to do that. But, yeah. So, and other thing that I said Oira has to do is they have to chain wars together with all of the Chinese so that way they don't join coalition map modes. Because as it stands, they're not too happy. Well, that's just Ming. 63, 79, 79, 98, 130. They're not too happy. 98, but the way to get rid of that coalition is, like, those coalitions, is either declare on, like, one member after they leave the coalition and take them out, take their allies out, vassalize them, take their land, whatever, get truces with the allies so that way they don't join the coalition. Are these guys allies or... Oh, they're vassals. So he's not, like, devastating, he's not raising the land. Yeah, so that way you get the... What's it called? The fucking coalitions, because there's less people. They don't want to form it because it's not as strong. There's not as many potential people. So yeah, you like declare there. Are you allied with? It looks like you are allied. No, Shu. So yeah, then you just got out of a war of Shu. You probably separate peace him just then, right? No, 11 years, 9 years. Nearly did 100% peace against whoever he was allied with. Maybe it was Chi? It was Chi, maybe. Forced to break alliance? Yeah. Torsion probably prestige farmed and, like, forced Shu to break alliance with Chi, so therefore it gives a 5-year truce. 3 years ago, 13 years? I don't know. I don't know. Torsion will probably clear this up when he gives me shit for reviewing his country wrong. Yeah. Also, with Confucian, right? You can't culture convert any of this land. You just can't, because it's Confucian, not Tengri. Sure, it's your syncretic religion. That doesn't mean you can culture convert it, because it's not your actual religion. Ooh. What you want, though, is a Shinto province, and then get those Shinto rebels to just start converting a crap ton of your land, like all this land, whatever. Oh no, actually, you just get one Shinto province, and then make that you make that your syncretic, because syncretic Shinto gives you 5% discipline, or some shit like that, like a really good modifier. Then you just convert all of this shit. I know you're gonna go religious ideas at some point, so that'll still work out for you. Convert all that shit, quell rebels, whatever, and you'll be one of the strongest, like, military nations in the game, with Chinese tech, with yuan ideas, etc., etc. Yeah, that's my opinion. You should really get... I'd get that. Just get that 0.5 prestige. That's also personal opinion. I didn't unpause. Tag man. That is not Manchu. Tag Oirat. Tag Michu. Hey, it worked! MCH! God, I need a haircut. Shrine to the Mountains, what does that give? 0.5 yearly Horde Unity? Fuck that, you just take land and raise it. Or loot it in general. It's typical of this one. Anyone who has this mission, you wait until late game when it gives you like 4,000 ducats, and you just click that. You get 4,000 ducats, and you're like, yeah. You have a lot of these missions done. Oh, it's probably because you took like this upper node here, didn't you? Yeah. You're probably never going to do that one unless you kill the fuckers. Mongol Banner Mercenaries. That one's going to be pretty nice. Diplo Rep. I thought it gave you... no, it's the Oirat ones when you conquer Korea that give you build cost or morale of navies or something. You're probably never going to get that, so unlucky. Probably never gonna get that. So unlucky. To the end of the game, that would be nice though. With you, I would say form Japan, but keep Manchu. Form Japan, keep Manchu ideas. Just because it's Japan, you kind of want those claims, you kind of want those missions. It'll give you a more filled out mission tree than here. It'll give you less limited. Click all the things in here before you go to the Japan one. So you won't probably get the build manufacturers, but still. Oh well. Is Ashikaga still the shogunate? It is. But I think Ashikaga may have some unrest in the empire. You can take this. Again, wait until... not again. Wait until you can... until someone else takes it. Wait until this goes red, then wait until the last day of that, because there's a chance you're going to spend less than 40%. Don't take it right now, because that's 40% you're spending. If other people wait till 10% or 0%, then you're waiting till 10% or 0%. So this goes up by 1% a year, this goes down by 10% a year. You're gaining 9% cost a year, even though this is going up. So yeah, that's what I'd say to people who like, take ahead of time, yes. Unless you're doing it to specifically cuck someone, just don't. Tag, not tech. Tag mad. Tag MDY. Tag MYD. Tag tid. Okay, let's go to Tidor instead, eh? I think this is near the last person. Yeah, this is near the last person. Tidor, nothing much I can say. Really nothing much. Probably going colonial to colonize Australia, go to the Americas, something like that. Or gonna colonize Papua New Guinea. I forget what these islands are actually called. IRLs. So Wales? What? Palu, Pozo. I forget what these islands are called, actually. But, yeah, probably gonna go for these. Bali, even, kind of stuff. Wait, Bali's owned by Magifit? Right, it is, isn't it? Yeah, probably gonna go just for all this shit. And then for Australia, Papua New Guinea, whatever. I would say probably move your capital to the Australias, or make a colony, change to that colony, convert into a colonial nation. If Australia hasn't got national ideas, maybe go to Alaska or some shit, get those Omega buffs. These are alright, they just have no military. They have literally no military. Lightship combat? Oh no! Like, oh my! No, it's not worth it in my opinion. This doesn't matter, you're not going to be fucking fighting anyone but natives, so you just need men. Like, you just need numbers over that. You're a pirate republic, so no estates to look at. Really, it's up to what game plan you want to do. And next session, I'm going to see that, so that's when I can actually give advice. With Magyars, I won't even look at the nation. I don't need to. You're going to conquer the rest of the Philippines, and you're either going to go to Europe, or you're going to pirate the shit out of Asians. There is no other game plan. There is no other play for the Europeans. Conquer, like Asia, go to Europe, or ally Asia, go to Europe. Zero play other than that. You could go colonial, like Tidor, I think should, but for all I know, you could just be taking Tidor with you on your pirating adventures of Europe, but then you're gonna have to split up which coast you raid. Yeah. Magyar, in my opinion, do I still have that on? It's MAS. Magyar, in my opinion, have some of the best naval ideas in the entire game. Naval land maneuver, naval leader fire, morale of navies, naval shock. So they have really good admirals. They have really good they have very good morale, not really good, because I forget other shit. And they have ship durability, which is also very important. They've one of the best navies in the game. But they don't have morale loss on, like, per ships. The Portuguese will give you a run for money there if they have, like, depending on fights. You're going expansion, so yeah, obviously you're gonna start going this way. You're gonna start colonizing the rest of the Philippines, whatever you're gonna do. As long as Brunei is your ally, you don't need to worry. But with Brunei, when I tagged to him, I would say he should probably kill you. That's not the tag. BEI. What the fuck is that? B. Missed 4 letters. EI. Ah, yes, of course. What other logical conclusion would you come to? As Brunei, I would either focus on killing you, like... You have 7 lights. 4 transports. Brunei has 10 lights too heavy. He can beat you in a naval fight right now. He can kill you. He can just fucking slaughter you. He just needs, you know, a way to get over there. Which he could probably do if he allies someone that you're at war with. And then gets over there, which I assume you're going to go to war with this guy. So yeah, if he allies this guy, comes over there, fucks you up, that'd be, in my opinion, the smart play. However, he's got this navy mothballed, he's got this army on that, so he has no intention of doing it. But yeah, it would just give him so much land to have, as well as over here, which he's probably organised with Ayutthaya, etc. He's obviously going to form Malacca, not obviously, but I would assume he's Malaya, not Malacca. He's going to form Malaya, get that shit. He keeps his ideas, I'm pretty sure. He's probably also going to go colonial and naval, because there's not much other play for him unless he goes north into Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya? Yeah. Ayutthaya? Thaya, yes. Meme. Thighs. Thick. Yeah, so... does he have the eco? He's probably saving on his money, and he doesn't really need mill ideas if he's not going to war with all of Indochina and Philippines. So yeah. Not much I can say here, because again, like, I haven't seen the posturing or the anything that's been happening, or the alliances that have occurred. Next session will be a lot more telling in that regard. Estates, again, Muslim estates, what you should aim for estates, in my opinion, is 50% equilibrium on all estates. But don't you want them to not have privileges? You want them to not have privileges when you actually have absolutism to lose. Before then, fucking give them everything. Except this. You want, like, the monarch points. You want to keep these forever and ever. So, give them enough privileges to give them plus 50, so that way when you do seize land, they don't go to, like, 20s and spawn rebels and shit like that. That's why it's 50, because it goes to 30. 30 is the minimum before it spawns rebel, like, because 29 and under it spawns rebels, or has a chance. So you want all these at 50. Easiest way is that. So now that's 44, that's 46, that's 52, that's 50, that. Every single estate is now over 50? Yeah, and you don't need to do anything here, because I would say convert to Hindu. I would say definitely convert to Hindu. It's much better than Sunni. But, yeah. And I'll say why if you convert, like, I'll say why with Hindu nations if you convert, but I'm just saying right now it's better. I've got shit to do apart from this, so that's why I'm not going to go into it, but you can, like, get some really, really good stuff from Hindu, and I would really recommend converting to Hindu. When, you know, the provinces allow you to. So yeah, make sure these are all above 50. With if you go to 60 loyalty, they'll get more bonuses, like 15% manpower turns to 20% manpower, 10% tax turns to 15 or 20% tax, trade efficiency turns to 20, 10% dev cost, this, that, tech cost for the Demi, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. I don't think I missed anyone. Ottomans I'm going to do a separate video on tomorrow, hopefully with the assistance of a special guest that none of you have ever heard of before. And yeah, Wouldn't it just be weird if I cut out at the climax of the song? Yeah, that'd be fucking weird.